Barry, you're just back. Oh yeah, put on the headphones because then you'll be able to hear Bill. Absolutely. You're both just back in today, is it?
I just flew in early hours of this morning,
right,
into Dublin Airport from Sydney. Okay. So I haven't been home in the past 2 years now. So a big challenge now ahead of us.
What day does it start?
Thursday, 29th of May. We kick off in Mizen Head in Cork, and we're running for 10 days, averaging 55, 60 kilometres a day for 10 days. And we'll be finishing up in Malin in Donegal at the end.
So a marathon distance is 42 kilometres, so you're going to be doing more, good bit more than a marathon every day.
So I've done a lot of charity events before for ultra marathons. I've ran 3 marathons in a day in Sydney, and I've raised a lot of money for Irish Heart Foundation as well. But we decided with the Wild Irish Run, we thought it would be a perfect fit to raise money for mental health, given that it's such an epidemic at the moment. There's over 600,000 suicides worldwide every year, and I have a background in mental health myself. I qualified from ATU in Letterkenny there in 2018, and we thought it was just fitting to raise money for Pieta House, one of the biggest mental health charities in Ireland. So we are kicking off on Thursday, and it's more just to get the conversation around mental health going, because yes, there's a lot of great work being done, but there's still a lot to do, and primarily the run is directed towards males, speaking up against suicide and thoughts of self-harm as such, because we have I find the conversation with mental health now, there is a huge amount of people struggling out there. And sometimes we just want to get the conversation going with regards people. Sometimes you don't need to have all the answers if someone is struggling. You just need to provide a listening ear. And me and Bill have been trying to get that conversation going in Sydney and in Ireland. And we've had great support since we started training for this event 6 months ago.
Great. Bill, let's go back a bit to the background here. How did you two meet in Australia? I presume you live in the same area, in the same city?
We're living together in Maroubra.
Where?
So in Maroubra.
Right.
It's in a small suburb in the eastern suburbs there in Sydney. So myself and Barry are living together. We didn't actually know each other before we went to Australia. We met each other. I'd be friends with Barry's brother.
Right.
And we were introduced to each other out in Australia. So since then we kind of came up with a friendship. I joined Barry to do 70 kilometers when he did his ultra marathon, and I regretted not taking part in it with him. So I said ever since then, if he comes up with a mad idea, I'll say yes. And we kind of were chatting between ourselves one day, and he says, "Why don't we run Ireland?" And we came up with this challenge, and we're looking forward to it now. It's going to take 10 days. As Barry said, we're raising money for Pieta House. We're doing it for those who can, so that's the message behind our run. It's those who are struggling, those who are not able to kind of get out of bed in the morning, so kind of raise awareness and hopefully get people talking.
Yeah, indeed. You're a graduate, a business and finance graduate, but you're working in construction.
Yeah,
and Barry, a different workplace environment for you entirely, because you're a mental health nurse. You trained at Letterkenny, as it was Letterkenny IT, now ATU. But anyhow, running the common bond here, and you did, when Bill says you did an ultra marathon, that was how long?
It was 126 kilometres, so it was 3 marathons in a day in Sydney.
In one go.
It took about 19 hours to complete. My father would have a big background in running as well, so that's how I kind of got into the whole thing. But primarily, just to add, John, I work in the ED department in Sydney, and there's a lot of young men presenting to ED at the moment with suicidal ideation. But I would say it's quite a positive thing, because the fact these young men are coming forward and they're asking for help. So it's just fantastic, all the support we've gotten so far and creating the conversation, and it's just the message we're trying to get is do it for those who can't, people who are currently struggling with their own mental health and they can't do certain things now. And it's about getting the message across. It's not about going from A to C. It's about it's about going from A to B. It's about, initially it could be difficulty getting out of bed in the morning, then it could be, meeting a friend for a coffee, and the next bit it could be Do you know what I mean? Going back to work. So it's just about.
Well, between Mizzen and Malin are going to be a lot of steps, but I suppose what you're encouraging people to do if they have any mental health problems, just to take that first step, take a first small step, and it could make a big difference.
Exactly. Just speaking out.
Yeah.
Speaking out.
Bill, you're sort of late to the table when it comes to running and wouldn't have as much experience as Barry here, but you're determined.
No, certainly not. But look, I'm happy. I'm gonna have him on my hip side. He'll drag me through just as much as I'll drive him through.
Yeah.
It's gonna be difficult, but as he said, we're just gonna break it into 10Ks, then we'll slowly get through the day.
Because a lot of people go from Mizzen to Malin and they do it in different ways. I've talked to people who have driven it in vintage cars. Somebody did it on horseback a number of years ago. A lot of people cycle it. But to run it or walk it's different. Well, to run it is particularly challenging, and you're intent on doing 55 to 60k a day. The first day, just looking at the schedule here, it's 51 kilometres to Kilkill in
Kilkill, yeah.
And onwards from there then.
But it's going to take us 3 days to get out of Cork alone.
Right.
So it's
that's going to be a bit of a head wreck.
Well, we have a big support team behind us. It'd be my father and Bill's father as well, and Bill's siblings and my siblings as well. So we have a.
Are you still on the lookout, Bill, for a camper van, or did you get that sorted?
No, we have everything sorted. Thankfully, Donegal Motorhomes have come on board, and we can't get over the support that they've given us.
Good.
So it can't get over the support of even the people from Donegal. We've had huge support up there, and we can't be any more grateful for everyone that's come on board, everyone that's reached out to us, everyone that has donated so far. It's gone a long way.
And just to thank a few people like Liam Ruxton for Donegal Motorhomes for supplying the camper, Eddie Tobin in Circle K, Edward Tinney Coal and Oil, C&M Embroidery, Leanne, thanks so much, Callahan's and Bert, and then we've Reynolds Electrical in Rafo.
Good.
So we have
well, here in Donegal, Bill, we love a bit of a mad story, and somebody doing something a bit mad. So anyhow, Thursday morning heading off.
On the button 7 a.m.
7.
So every morning we'll be starting 7 a.m. So if anyone wants to follow us on Wild Irish Run on Instagram, we'll be putting updates daily, and that's where people are, because we have over 100 people join us throughout the 10 days. We have athletics clubs joining us, we family, we friends throughout the 10 days.
Just doing bits and pieces running bits and pieces with
running bits and pieces. So the Wild Irish Run on Instagram is where you can get us, and we're planning to raise €20,000 for Pieta House, and so far I think we're up to about €7,000 now. On top of private donations as well, so it's growing arms and legs, and it's fantastic, the momentum we've gotten.
So Bill, have you all the high calorie food sorted for the journey?
Do indeed. We're just on the way back from Musgraves. Myself and my dad, we put in a big shop there. So
there you go.
And we're looking forward to it. It's going to be an adventure, not only for ourselves, but it'll be nice to have our parents with us along the way as well.
Absolutely, once in a lifetime, and it's all going to Pieta House. Listen, the best of luck on Thursday and the whole way up through the country. Going to do it over 10 days, and we might update listeners along the way as to how you're progressing. So fingers crossed, and fingers crossed as well that you get a bit of weather that's better than it is at the minute.
Exactly. We thought we'd get some good exam weather coming back from Sydney, but we'll see. We'll see how we go. Apparently Cork now, the temperatures are a lot better, so we'll see how we go. But we're running directly up the middle of the country. We're not doing the coast.
Take a direct route.
Direct route, yeah.
That's probably best when you're running all the way from
Absolutely.
All right then. Bill Staunton in Dublin, on the road at the minute, and Barry Lee from just out the road, who's here in studio. Thanks a million for having a chat with us, and the best